I seek refuge in Allah from the evil accursed Iblis, Shaitan, Lucifer. May Allah curse him everlastingly and protect us from him in every way he sees fit everlastingly. I send salutations upon the mercy of humanity, Muhammad, the selected one, and all of his companions and all of his family members unto the day of resurrection. This is your humble and respectable orator, Muhammad Israel. We're picking up on page number 194. This is in reference to the legendary military ideology of the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salawatullahi alayhi. We have completed the series on his career, the series on his legendary military legacy, as well as the series on his legendary military empire and the legendary military governance. Please do refer to those videos on the Muhammadu Gambia channel if you're not already there. We're picking up now on page number 194, the period of Abu Musa al-Ash'ari's governorship in Basra, which is regarded as one of its best periods, to the extent that one of the descendants of the people of Basra, namely Al-Hasan al-Basri, may Allah Jalla Jalaluhu be pleased with him, said, open quote, no rider ever came and brought more blessings to its people than Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, end quote. That was because Abu Musa al-Ash'ari radiallahu anhu, in addition to being a governor, was the best teacher of its people, as he taught them Al-Quran and various matters of Al-Islam. A number of cities in Persia were conquered during the Khilafat of Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu. They were put under the administration of Basra and run by its governor, who was Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, who appointed workers to be in charge of them. These employees were under his authority and reported to him directly. Thus, Abu Musa al-Ash'ari is regarded as one of the greatest governors of Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, and the correspondence between Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab and Abu Musa al-Ash'ari is regarded as one of the most important sources for shedding light on Umar's conduct with his governors and explaining the way he dealt with them. Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, in his instructions to the caliphs who would come after him, recommended that no governor whom he had appointed should be left in his post for more than a year, except for Abu Musa al-Ash'ari who he said should be left in his post for 4 more years. Abu Musa al-Ash'ari radiallahu anhu was also appointed as the judge during the time of Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab, and Umar ibn al-Khattab wrote him a letter about judiciary matters. The guidance in this letter may benefit any judge or indeed any administrator in any time or place. Ibn al-Qayyim said concerning it, open quote, this is an important letter which the scholars welcomed and used as a basis for rulings on passing judgment and giving testimony. Muftis are in urgent need of studying it and learning what is in it, end quote. Abu Musa al-Ash'ari was also appointed as a governor at the time of Uthman, who asked him to be the judge in Basra. When Uthman was martyred, Abu Musa was the governor of Kufa, and when Ali ibn Abi Talib was appointed as Khalif, Abu Musa accepted the oath of allegiance for him from the people of Kufa. So there we go, Basra, then Kufa. Because he had been its governor for Sayyidina Uthman bin Affan. So that's very good. We were not too far off when we said he was the governor of Kufa instead of Basra, mashallah. When Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu was in Duqara and urged the people of Kufa to lend him their support, Abu Musa saw the beginning of the fitna and division among the Muslimin. He advised the people of Kufa to stay in their houses and keep away from this issue, because it was fitna, in which one who was sitting would be better than one who was standing, and the one who was standing would be better than the one who was walking. Because of his difference of opinion with Khalif, he was dismissed from his position as governor of Kufa. So we covered that earlier. From the time he became a Muslim, Abu Musa al-Ash'ari radiallahu anhu spent his life spreading al-Islam and teaching knowledge to the people, especially the Quran, as he was famous for his recitation, taking part in jihad for the sake of Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, and encouraging others to do so, judging disputes between people, spreading justice, and running the affairs of the province by means of the judiciary and administration. There is no doubt that these tasks are difficult and require unique skills and characteristics of knowledge, understanding, quick wit, cleverness, piety, and asceticism. Abu Musa al-Ash'ari had an abundant share of these characteristics. The Messenger of Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, and then the four righteously guided caliphs after him relied on Abu Musa al-Ash'ari to an extent. Can it be imagined that the Messenger of Allah alayka salawatullahi ta'ala alayhi, then the caliphs who succeeded him relied on a man who could be tricked in such a way as is narrated in the story of the arbitration? The fact that Abu Musa al-Ash'ari radiallahu anhu was chosen by Ali and his companions to be an arbitrator on behalf of the people of Iraq is in complete harmony with the sequence of events, because the next stage was to be the stage of reconciliation and uniting the Muslimin. Abu Musa al-Ash'ari was one of those who had called for reconciliation and peace. At the same time, he was loved and trusted by the tribes of Iraq. The earlier sources state that Ali radiallahu anhu is the one who chose Abu Musa al-Ash'ari. Khalifa says in his Tariq, in that year 37 after the Hijriya, the two arbitrators met. Abu Musa al-Ash'ari on behalf of Ali and Amr ibn al-As on behalf of Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan. Ibn Sa'd said, the people got fed up with war and were calling for peace. They appointed two arbitrators. Ali radiallahu anhu appointed Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, and Muawiyah appointed Amr ibn al-As. End quote. Hence we can say that the reports about the role attributed to the pious, devoted worshippers at Siffeen of being responsible for stopping the fighting and resorting to arbitration and imposing Abu Musa al-Ash'ari as an arbitrator are no more than historical lies that were fabricated by the Shia storytellers, who never stop fabricating and distorting the history of al-Islam by means of false reports. It annoyed them that Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu seemed to be someone who showed compassion to Muawiyah and the people of Syria and wanted to reconcile with their traditional enemies. On the other hand, these Shias considered their enemies, the Kharijites, to be responsible, but they made the Kharijites' actions contradict themselves. The Kharijites are the ones who allegedly forced Ali to accept the arbitration, and they are also the ones who rebelled against him because of his accepting the arbitration. A brief look at the character of Abu Musa al-Ash'ari is strongly connected to our topic, the life and times of Amirul Mu'minin Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Abu Musa al-Ash'ari was one of the people who had a profound impact on his era, but his character has been subjected to distortion in most cases whenever anyone discussed Siffeen and the arbitration. The characters of Abu Musa and Amr ibn al-As were subjected to distortion, lies, and fabrication because of weak and fabricated reports. Hence, it is necessary to talk about the biographies of these two great men, and this is one of the aims of writing this biography. The biography of Amr ibn al-As. His full name was Amr ibn al-As ibn Wa'il as-Sahmi. His kunyas, meaning his nicknames, are Abu Muhammad and Abu Abdullahi. Ibn Ishaq and Az-Zubayr ibn Baqar agreed that he became Muslim while he was with the Negus in Abyssinia, and he migrated to Medina in Safar, 8th year after the Hijriya. Ibn Hajar stated that he became Muslim in the 8th year of Hijriya before the conquest of Mecca, and it was said that it was between Hudaybiyah and Khaybar, though Jalla Jalaluhu knows best. 3.2.1 His becoming Muslim. Amr ibn al-As himself told the story of his coming to al-Islam. He said, open quote, when we came away from the battle of the trench, I gathered together some men who shared my opinion and would listen to me. And I said, you know by Allah, that in my opinion this affair of Muhammad will go to extraordinary lengths. I am thinking of something that I would like to know what you think of. They said, what are you thinking of? I said, I think that we should go to Negus, meaning the king who sits in Ethiopia. He had relationships with him. He had connection with Negus. And stay with him. If Muhammad conquers our people, we will be with Negus. And we would prefer to be subject to his authority rather than to Muhammad. On the other hand, if our people prevail, they know us and will treat us well. They thought that my suggestion was excellent, so I told them to collect something that we could take as a gift to Negus. Leather was the product of our land that he most valued. So we collected a large quantity and took it to Negus in Ethiopia, Abyssinia. By Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, while we were with him, Amr ibn Humayya ad-Damri came to him. He had been sent by the messenger of Allah Jalla Jalaluhu to find out about Ja'far and his companions. He had an audience with the Negus. When he came out, I said to my companions that if I were to go to Negus and ask him to let me have him, meaning kill him, he would give him to me. Then we could cut off his head. And if I did that, Quraysh would see, the tribe of Quraysh would see that I had served them well by killing Muhammad's messenger, meaning the Prophet ﷺ's messenger. So I went into the Negus and prostrated before him as I usually did. He welcomed me as a friend and asked if I had brought anything from our country. When I told him that I had brought a large quantity of leather and I produced it, he was greatly pleased and wanted it. I said, O king, I have just seen a man leave your presence. He is the messenger of an enemy of ours, so let me have him that I may kill him. For he has killed some of our chiefs and best men. He was enraged, and reaching out his hand, he gave his nose such a blow that I thought he must have broken it. If the ground had opened up, I would have gone into it to escape his anger. Then he said to me, O king, by Allah, if I had thought that this would be distasteful to you, I would not have asked. So I think we need to double back, or let's revisit. So when he said that to him, the fact that he wanted him so that he could kill him, for he had killed some chiefs and best men of the Quraysh, he was enraged, and reaching out his hand, he gave his nose such a blow that I thought he must have broken it. If the ground had opened up, I would have gone into it to escape his anger. Then I said, O king, by Allah, if I had thought that this would be distasteful to you, I would not have asked you. He said, Are you asking me to give you the messenger of a man to whom the great Namus, Jibreel, alayka salawatullahi ta'ala alayhi, comes as he used to come to Musa so that you can kill him? I said, O king, is he really like that? He said, woe to you, O Amr. Obey me and follow him, for by Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, he is right. He will be triumphant over his adversaries as Musa triumphed over the Pharaoh and his enemies and his armies, excuse me. I said, will you accept my oath of allegiance to him in Islam? He said, yes, and stretched out his hand, and I swore my allegiance to him in Islam. Then I went out to my companions. My opinion had changed from what it was before, but I concealed my Islam from them. Then I went out heading towards the Messenger of Allah alayka salawatullahi ta'ala alayhi, so that I might become Muslim after giving the oath through Nagas. And I met Khalid ibn al-Walid, who wasn't Muslim back then. That was just before the conquest of Mecca, and he was coming from Mecca. I said, where are you going, O Abu Sulaiman? He said, by Allah, the way has become clear. The man is indeed a prophet, and I am going to become a Muslim by Allah Jalla Jalaluhu. How much longer should I delay? I said, by Allah, I have only come to become Muslim. So we went to Al-Madinah to the Messenger of Allah alayka salawatullahi ta'ala alayhi. Khalid ibn al-Walid went ahead of me and became Muslim and gave his oath of allegiance. Then I came close and said, O Messenger of Allah alayka salawatullahi alayhi, I will give you my oath of allegiance on the basis that my previous sins will be forgiven and no mention will be made of what went before, in other words, of what I have done before. The Messenger of Allah Jalla Jalaluhu said, O Amr, give your oath of allegiance, for Al-Islam erases all that came before it, and Hijrah erases all that came before it. So I gave my oath of allegiance and departed. Inshallah, we're going to end this one here on page number, this is video number 114. We're going to end it at page number 199. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك وتبارك اسم ربك وتعالى جدك ولا إله غيرك ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.